Hi everyone, welcome back to Pi Analytics, and I am back with yet another important video in Power BI, which is how to make Pareto charts. And Pareto charts as a concept is not limited to just Power BI, it can be done in a bunch of other softwares as well, such as Excel, Lookup Studio, Tableau, and with certain other programming languages as well. But Power BI is usually the fastest and the easiest way to do it, which is what we are going to learn today. But before that, let's obviously learn what exactly the Pareto principle is. Now, the Pareto principle is a decision making tool that is used in business very, very often. And it is also known as the 80-20 rule, which means that 80% of a business's problems can be traced to 20% of the factors. What that means, I will show you with an example. So, I have data for a stationery store here, and it's a very large data set. There are about 40,000 rows. So suppose the owner of the soap stationery store wants to reduce their costs. Now, instead of looking into every single product and coming up with ways to reduce costs for every single one of his products, which is going to be a very, very time consuming task, he can identify the top products that account for the most cost and then reduce costs for those particular products as only. So this is what the Pareto chart does, and this is what it looks like. So I have visualized a Pareto chart. It is nothing but a line chart and a clustered column chart combined. And in order to create the Pareto chart, you need to create a measure called the Pareto percentage, which is also something that we're going to see in this video today. So what I'm going to do, I will delete this chart from the model right now. I will also delete the Pareto percentage measure, and we will do everything from scratch. So first I will select a line and clustered column chart from the build pane, and I will extend the size of this a little bit. Yes. So once I've done that, what I will do is I will add subcategory of product to the x-axis and the cost to the y-axis. So currently we can see that bookcases account for a lot of cost, and then chairs, and then followed by appliances. But this is just visual data, and what the Pareto chart is, the Pareto percentage is going to do is that it's going to give us exact numbers. So what exact percentage of the total is accounted by the bookcases and so on, and what we need to do in order to reduce the 50% of cost of the business. So I will create the Pareto percentage very quickly. For that, I will create a new measure. I will call this Pareto percentage equals to. Now for this, I need to create a bunch of other variables as well. So the first variable that I will create will be total cost. But this is filtered cost. So I will use the calculate DAX function, and I will take the total cost measure, which is nothing but the sum of the cost column, and comma. I will use the all selected DAX function, and I will give the subcategory column as an argument. So what this function here does is that it takes total cost but only for the selected subcategory. Similarly, I will create another variable called current, and what the current function does is it's nothing but the total cost measure, which we have created already. And then I will create a third variable called the sum table. So we are creating a table now. For this, I will use the summarize function, which returns a table. And in this, I'm going to use all selected, and I will give the table as an argument, the list of orders table, the one we have. And I will also reference the subcategory column, comma. Let's call this new column in the table costs, and comma, I will reference total costs. Okay, this is it. And the fourth and the final variable that we need for the Pareto percentage will be the cumulative sum. So I will call this cumulative sum equals to, for this I will use the sum x function, filter, and so yeah, in this I need to create the sum for the sum table. So I will give the sum table as an expression here, and I will reference total cost as well. So the filter here is that total cost need to be greater than or equal to the current cost in order to create the cumulative column, right? And I will also reference total cost here again. Now we need this formula to return the division. And now this is essentially the Pareto formula, which is the total cumulative sum divided by the total cost. Now, in order to, you will ask, why didn't I just directly do this? Because in order to create the cumulative sum, we had to create the previous four variables and then come up with the cumulative sum. So now that we have that, it's going to be a simple division between cumulative sum, which is going to be the numerator, and the denominator is going to be nothing but total cost. So the cumulative cost divided by the total cost gives us the Pareto form percentage. And yes, I have created it. I will press enter, and yeah, the variable has been created. I will close this, and I will add the Pareto percentage as the line. And yes, so this is our Pareto chart which has been created. Now I will further format this. Okay, so what I need, the very first thing is the data labels in the chart. Yes, and other than that, I also want to, so in the columns pane, I will color certain columns. So according to certain rules. So what I said earlier is that we need, yes, so we need this by the Pareto percentage. And yes, so as I said earlier, we need to reduce cost of the, we need to reduce 50% of the cost. So that is what we are going to do. If value is greater than equal to number 0 less than equal to 0.5, and then it should be dark, no, orange in color. No, okay, I will make this blue. And another rule is that if values are greater than equal to number less than equal to 1 and than equal to 0.5, then it should be orange. And okay, it's a little flipped, sorry, so I will, yeah, I will reverse the color order. Okay, and yeah, so the, we can see that bookcases, chairs, and appliances account for 50% of the cost. So if the stationery store owner wanted to reduce their cost by 50%, he may do that by reducing the cost for bookcases, chairs, and appliances, which is what the Pareto chart tells us. And this was the Pareto chart. You can, okay, I will undo that. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, we can delete the title here. We can rename it to something else. We can do a lot of formatting, but this is the Pareto chart, and you can also do this for your own practice. I will link a data set in the description box below. And if you have any questions, you can drop a comment below, and I will be more than happy to answer it. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Pi Analytics channel for more such content, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.